All right, so you're thinking about doing a raise. There's really two options for you to get funding. One is going to be a paid ad strategy. Second is going to be a mechanism to just do a ton of outbound messages, and we'll go through some of those costs. Or the third option, and this is what we've built, is going to be building a community of really targeted people into your CRM system so that you can continue to build a relationship with them, right? Which takes more time. And the reason we do number 3 in our world is because, one, we want to think about multiple raises. We want to think about community building. We want to make these people potentially become part of maybe the company, not just investing, but partnerships. So we just want to be incredibly targeted as to who we're bringing into this ecosystem. Now, we're going to break down 2 things here around cost, right? So let's first do Facebook ads. So let's say you are like, all right, I want to run Facebook ads. We're going to just look at the budgeting, not the creative. So whatever you see here in this number, then we spit this out. You also have to think, what are we making? Videos, images. So you've got a creative designer making some piece of content or using AI, whatever it is. So let's say your monthly investment goal is you want to do $100,000, right? Let's say your average investment size is 700, which is the average, by the way, for equity crowdfunding. Let's say your cost per 1,000 impressions is that. Let's say your click-through rate is that. And your cost per acquisition is probably going to be somewhere around $300, let's say. All right. So to raise 100, we're spending $42,000, $43,000, give or take. We need this many clicks to get this many sales at this average, right? And this is where you should kind of think about putting your budget. And that's going to be your conversion rate right there. Now, this is no guarantee. This is just working out just the math. So you start to see like, all right, well, maybe my average investment size is 1,000. Maybe this got down to 225. Okay, you still need 22,000. So you just got to make sure that you have that amount of budget to be spending because you can't stop the machine once it starts. So you really need to have this type of budget to get enough traction through the page. And even at this, let's say 22,000, we'll do some quick math here. All right. So let's go 22,500 divided by 30. So that's $750 a day, right? So sometimes when I tell people you got to be spending between $500 to $1,000, here's the math, right? So you start to see that this is really expensive. And this also requires that you have an account that's established, that Facebook would even let you spend this amount of money. So you've got to build up that relation, like that partnership with Facebook or Meta, so that they allow you to even spend this type of money. Or you're going to be working with a third-party company. Let's say you're on Start Engine. Problem on that is that you need to keep this data. If you're spending this amount of money on a raise, month after month, after $25,000 a month on ads, and you run a campaign for 5-6 months, you want to make sure you're walking away with that data, not the marketplace that you're using, Start Engine, WeFunder, etc. So if they put their pixel on and not yours, that means they're taking the data off of your ad spend dollars. Not only that, if you are working on a platform like that, if they're marketing their deal to your investors, you paid their marketing costs, right? Why are we doing that? All right, so this is ads number 1. But you just have to be really careful because if you start seeing the numbers like this, right? I mean, what are we doing here, guys? You're barely a 1 return on ad spend. So the numbers can get very quickly. And then on top of this, we have to have amazing creative. And especially in the new Facebook ad strategy that they have set up now too, you got to make sure that you're having very different creative across multiple verticals, right? So you can't have just like 7 ads saying the same thing, right? So again, lots going on here. Let's flip to the second version here. Let's say you just want to build a massive outbound system to, with email, LinkedIn, mailboxes, basically a cold strategy, just blasting investors through email. Okay, let's put the same numbers in here. You want to do 100,000. Okay, let's say this is your reply rate is 7. You have 4 emails in the sequence, replying to meetings here. So we need, these you can just see. And we need to be averaging, like to be doing this, you got to be averaging like a $25,000, right? So, but more than likely, let's put these back. We're going to be more realistic here. So you got that. You're probably doing 6. Your reply rate's going to be more here. Meetings to close. I mean, that number is ridiculous. Let's get these more realistic here. Right. So if you build this system to do 100,000, you would need 1,700 mailboxes. Your infrastructure costs, this is going to be domains, warming them all up, inbox placement tools. All right, we'll just get rid of the labor costs for right now, just to, So if you were to build out this machine, which mind you, this would be a massive build to have that many mailboxes, and you also need a database of 116,000 investors, and you needed to be doing 324 meetings per month, right? So let's look at this. That's 10 meetings a day, Saturdays and Sundays. Your monthly net to do this, 35,000, 36,000. That might get you a 2.8. Now maybe you're averaging $15,000 investors, right? If you're going to do this, but again, in equity crowdfunding, you're looking for accredited investors only. There is no way that you can get down to this, right? If you start, let's say you're getting $1,000, $1,500, doesn't make sense, right? We're not even in the ballpark. So you have to be averaging. So now you come back and you go, all right, man, like, what? We can't be doing this. These numbers don't make any sense, right? It's just not sustainable. I mean, you'd have to have a massive sales team. You need a database that you got to go pay for that. This is not counting paying for contacts, because where are those contacts coming from? And just the amount of mailboxes, like you're sending per month, 340,000 emails per month. Whew. So these are a couple of strategies. Like you're looking at the cold outbound, just blasting people with emails. Got the paid ads, right? This is a 2. If you're looking at this number right here, this is a 2 return on ad spend. You put $1 in, you're getting $2 out, but you got to have this budget per month. So this is why when you come back and you go, all right, well, what did we build? What did I build? For Pre-IPO Hype and Invest Guru, it's trying to get investors into the database, into your CRM, and hitting them with newsletters and emails and webinars, right? So our visual, this is our visual that we think about here, right? So we're putting these people in. We have really good investor data. We're trying to find people that invested last week. We've got accredited investors, so we're trying to hit them as tight as possible with as much volume as possible while still making it cost effective. And that's a tough challenge. And that's why expectations have to be changed when working with us, because we're looking at the long tail of all of this. We're looking at your core business. We just have a different strategy than just saying, let's spend $50,000 a month. And maybe we bring in 100, right? Again, there's no guarantees on that. So, and that's a big nut. So, all right, hope this all helps. Just kind of put into perspective cost, and then looking at how we build and what our mindset is. So hopefully this all helps. If you guys have questions, go to pre-IPOhype.com, go to my calendar, book a time with me. I'd love to learn more about what you're working on and see if we can't build out a system to build your community, build your CRM, build your investor database for not just this deal, but all the deals that you have coming forward. Thanks.